Well, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Tech Whispers, the podcast where we dive deep into the leadership journeys and philosophies of our industry's best and most transformative leaders. I'm your host, Dan Roberts, and today I am honored to shine the light to feature someone whose name is synonymous with building, and that is Kathy Kay. Kathy is amazing in terms of how she enables and builds businesses. She's got that ability to drive simplicity in a world of complexity. She builds bridges. She has this ability to bring people together and drive impact in very seamless ways. She's also a builder of the future in terms of our future profession, our future workforce, the future of business. So she just has this real knack and genuine and authentic and courageous way of inspiring everyone who's around her. In this episode, we're going to unpack and explore Kathy's role as a builder of teams, as a builder of ecosystems, and very importantly, as a builder of communities and family. So check this out. Stay to the end. I've got a really special set of mystery questioners and a really sweet one at the end. So listen for that. But let's welcome Kathy in. Thanks so much for being here. Executive Vice President, CIO at Principal Financial Group. And Kathy, let's start off by talking about your businesses and those customers that you serve.
Sure. Thanks, Dan. I want to start by saying thank you for having me. Super excited to be here. A little apprehensive that I'll know who our secret guests or questions are from, but thanks for having me. Principal is a financial services company, and we specialize in retirement services, benefits and protection, and asset management. Our mission is to make financial security available to everyone. We have over 68 million customers. We're in 80 countries, and we've been around for 145 years. It is really gratifying to help people. If you think about this, is one of their most important things that they, envision in their lives is being able to have financial security, being able to have a good life after they're done working, and being able to serve customers in these areas to make that something that is available to them is just super gratifying. From an IT perspective, we have about 4,000 employees across the company of 20,000 employees. So large global company doing great work to serve customers around the world.
That's incredible. 145 years, to be able to endure and thrive that long. And I know it's just intense customer focus. How many did you say? 65 million?
68 million, yes.
68 million. And so what's different today, Kathy? When you think about customer expectations, what's changed?
Gosh, over the course of 145 years, you can imagine a lot of things have changed because a lot of things go on in people's lives and a lot of things go on in the world. But more recently, what I can say is the expectations of customers in a relationship, especially in financial services, has really changed from the perspective of, in the past, we served customers by, within the businesses we were in. And now customers, because of the likes of Amazon and really nice digital experiences, they expect that from every company, right? They expect us to know who they are, regardless of what they're calling about. They expect us to know the relationship that we have with them. They expect us to be able to help them even proactively. And so a lot of that is enabled by technology, which is super exciting, but it also is a huge responsibility. And so being able to serve the customers and giving them the experiences that they want is really way more important than I think it used to be it a human interaction or a digital interaction or even, any of the other channels that they might want to talk with us through.
Yeah, really well said in terms of that whole customer life cycle and how you're, as a company, staying ahead of that and serving. And well, Kathy, we have some really, really special mystery questioners, and I want to get to our first one and just kind of start
Okay.
that because it's how we get to know you better. These are folks who know you, work with you in different ways, and so let's jump in and let's listen to this first one and tell us who this is.
Kathy has the unique ability to reduce the complexity of a project into simple and easy to understand concepts for management teams and boards. How did you learn to do this?
Is this my former boss who just retired?
Indeed, yeah. Who is that?
This is Dan Houston. Until January 6th, he was our 15th CEO of Principal Financial Group, and an incredible leader. So I can talk a little bit about that. I think, very early in my career, I had the luxury of learning from leaders that if I talked in technical jargon, it wasn't going to help, business people understand what the technology could really do, how it could benefit our customers or organizations. And so I was given that feedback early on that you need to be able to understand how to put this in business terms. But what that really meant is you need to understand the business too. And so making the time to understand the business, to understand problems that they're facing, to understand customer expectations, and then be able to tell how technology can help. And, not only come up with solutions, but really help solve problems because there is an understanding of the business. And, that requires close collaboration and spending a lot of time with business partners to really understand that.
Yeah, so good. And thank you, Dan, for that. And, when I spoke with Dan and it was just so great just because he wanted to actually get on and talk with me, not just send the recording in because this meant a lot to him. And it just says a lot about your company, the culture there. One of the things that really struck me, he talked a lot about just civility in the world and core values. And he quoted Jefferson. I never heard this quote before, but he said that he really lives by on matters of style, swim with the current, on matters of principle, stand like a rock. Does that sound like Dan?
That is Dan to a core. And it's interesting. I have heard him say that once before, and when he did, it was like it is so true. And a company is only as good as the people who are part of it. And you can't be the wonderful company that we are if it isn't starting with the leadership. And Dan he does live that. He is an incredible leader, very just supportive and really wants to make sure that we are serving the customers, the amount of attention that he puts there, that he has put in us. And he just sets the tone for the whole company. And he is incredible. And I will miss him dearly, but I'm also excited for our new CEO.
Yeah, let's talk about her. 16, I'm so 145-year-old company. You've only had now 16th CEO.
That's
And
correct.
you had a special day with her yesterday.
We did. So Deanna Stravel is our new CEO. She is our 16th CEO, as I mentioned, and first female CEO. So we got to see some history here. But we all got to go with her yesterday to watch her open NASDAQ with the ringing of the bell. So it was really special. I'm honored to be a part of it. And I'm excited to be working with Deanna. I know she's going to do incredible things. Dan mentored her a lot in her career. And so there's a great continuance of some of the core values that make Principal so special. So she's a wonderful person as well. And I'm really excited that she's our next CEO.
Yeah, that intentionality, right? Just having that constant, steady leadership guidance. When you think about the Fortune 500 and, 52% of the Fortune 500 is no longer there from 20 years ago. And so just tells you how special it is. And so, well, congratulations, Deanna. Excited to watch her leadership. And again, thank you, Dan. And so another mystery questioner for you, somebody you know well. I'll give you a little hint, maybe somebody you've worked with in your past life. So you're going to know this voice right away as soon as you hear it. So check it out.
Hey, Kathy, this is payback time for the mystery question that you provided, Dan, for me. So here's my question. How do you ensure that your teams are aligned with the overall corporate strategy, especially when you need to balance it with internal IT performance needs, such as managing tech debt and productivity and keep the lights on spend? And none of those typically line up well with corporate strategy. So how do you balance the two, and how do you ensure that your teams are aligned with the overall corporate strategy?
What a great question.
And it's so appropriate for who asked this. This is one of my former bosses, Anil Cherian, who used to be the CIO at SunTrust Bank when I was there. Also an incredible leader. I learned a ton from him and a very strategic leader. So I'm not surprised the question you asked me, Anil. But what I will say is a couple of things. There is always this balancing act. However, we do not earn the right to build strategic capabilities if we can't serve our customers well. And so having this operational focus to continue to make sure everything is running effectively, is meeting the needs of our customers so that and our employees so that we can serve them well is table stakes. You have to do that. And you have to make sure that you're putting the right investments towards making sure that business is always going on. Now, the second thing is how do you being aligned to a strategy? If you make sure, or what I have found is making sure that all of the investments we are making are aligned to strategy. What that requires is understanding each of our businesses, understanding the problems, being a part of building a strategy, and then you can align the types of capabilities that are needed to be developed and the investments that are needed. And then you could have conversations with what will gate our ability with legacy technology. Again, it's telling this story from a business lens, what will gate us, what will make us be able to go faster or give our customers a unique experience or a new product, as an example, by building out certain capabilities. But if you can't put it in business terms, and if it doesn't have a business case that will resonate with the leaders of the company, you'll never get it sold. And so I have just found being able to always align to their businesses and strategy and having well thought through business cases enables you to move forward. But it truly is a balancing act. And when you see signs of stress or, instability, you got to go after it. And that might mean balancing some of the investments, but you need to do that because all customers have to be served effectively for sure.
Yeah, you're really helping us understand what differentiates great leaders in our space. And I hope people are really listening because there's certain rocks, right, that we've got to get right. And you do them so well, Kathy. And Anil, one of the real class acts in our profession. I tease him. The only thing I know that he ever failed at was retirement. Like he retired, this, right? He retired
He's
once.
Totally failing at retirement.
Right? I mean,
I think Dan's going to fail at retirement too, if between us.
I think I'm not surprised. Yeah, I would not be surprised. But yeah, Neil got called back. He went and served the highest post, right, in the country.
That's right.
Strategic CIO for the federal government, and then retired. And then Cognizant called him, and he did a big job there. So, anyways, thank you, Anil, and just appreciate him. And so, well, 2 for 2, Kathy. And this third question is going to maybe hit a little closer to home, kind of the day job, what's going on there. So we'll have some fun with this one. So check this one out.
I think one of Kathy's superpowers is her ability to be authentic in all the interactions she has with people across a wide variety of audiences, whether it be for one of her direct reports in a one-on-one, a new member of the staff, or just in coffee with Kathy when she brings her whole team together. You always get Kathy for who she is, and she's always focused on how she can help. And then I think about her ability to be relentless and continue to help and challenge her teams, challenge the organization and how we can move forward. And the coupling of the human nature of her authenticity and her ability to continue to be fearless and challenge the organization to move us forward is what really makes us all better.
This is one of my leaders, Ryan Downing. He's our CIO of our sort of our corporate functions, if you will. And I think very much the same things about Ryan as some of the things he said about me. I learned so much from him as he is an authentic leader, and also pushes the envelope to enable his teams to be better. So, and I think that's just a responsibility of leaders. If you don't know your teams and you don't understand the problems that they're dealing with, and I don't mean always just high level, but really going down into the organization and getting a feel for what employees are, facing and understanding the problems, especially those serving customers directly. It's really hard to be accountable for making sure there is good technology solutions because gone are the days of being able to push technology at people. You have to make sure you're solving the right problems. And you can only do that if you're spending a lot of time with your people and your customers. And I really appreciate Ryan's words. It really makes me feel good because, like I said, I feel the same about him in a lot of what he said. So thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, he would recognize those things in you because it's just how he breathes, how he thinks, how he shows up. And having been the company that started 40 years ago under the mantra of developing the human side of technology, I loved the question. So thank you very much, Ryan. Kathy, another one for you. One of your industry colleagues. Not only did she ask a question, she did some research because we're a pretty tight community, right? And so
Yes, we are.
which is a good thing because this work that you do is not getting easier, and we need each other and be able to call that friend. But this is one of your good friends, and she's got a really special question for you about one of your superpowers.
I am so excited to be given the opportunity to ask a question to someone I have such incredible respect for. I did take the time to check with a few others that I know Kathy well, so I know that this question is something that many of us can't wait to hear the answer to. Kathy has a superpower. She builds amazing teams that are known for their collaboration, their innovation, their partnership, their ability to get things done. I would love to hear from Kathy any lessons learned along her career journey that she could share with others in this ability to build amazing teams.
Well, these are really nice words. And boy, Jen Hartzog, you did quite some research. I appreciate it. And, she does a lot of the same things. So, I think it's really, it's incredible to be recognized for authenticity and collaboration. And again, I don't know how you can be a leader in IT. I don't even know how you can work in IT and not have those types of qualities because everything we do, it can either really help enable serving customers or moving a company along, helping achieve really great outcomes. But it also could do really damaging things if you don't understand the problem. And so it's a responsibility I take very seriously. And like I said, I don't know how you could work any differently and be successful. And getting close to people and getting close to colleagues. And, I don't hesitate to reach out to Jen and offer the same to all of my peers because we always have problems that we're working on that tend to be similar. And so being able to help each other is incredibly important. So thank you, Jen, for your comments and your question and doing a little bit of homework.
Jen is so special. Thank you. She made big news a couple of years back when she moved to Cargill, $160 billion biggest private company in the country, if not the world. So she's got her hands full, but special people. And this whole episode, as it came together, Kathy, was really about Kathy the builder. There's just you build like business and customers and people, and this is around teams. So it was perfect. And one of the things I notice about as I hang out with people like you and Jen and Anil is your ability to bring energy every day. And these jobs are exhausting, the travel and the hours, the demands, right? But how do you continue to maintain your level of energy so you can continue to energize your people every day?
First I will say, if you don't like what you're doing and if you don't believe in the mission of the company you work at and the vision and truly can connect with the customers you're serving, I think it's really hard to really have energy around that. For me, I love what I do. I love being able to help solve problems. I love being able to help people be a better version of themselves, enable them to work their best work together. And that just energizes me. I will tell you, during the pandemic, when we had to be all, sort of remote, it was a huge energy drain. And when you can connect with people more directly and, like I said, understand things, for me, it's natural. I also do a lot of things to try and remain healthy, eat healthy, exercise, and things like that, which also brings energy and helps relieve some of the stress. And I think finding those things to have that balance also is super helpful. And then spending time with my family is also really important. And that too brings a lot of energy.
That's amazing. You talk a lot about your team. I love when you talk about your team. When we bring it up, you're like, I love my team. I mean, it's just, I'm going to coach you right now, but talk about, you mentioned 4,000 people strong. Talk about these incredible teammates, the work you're doing, what's going on there under the covers. That's really interesting.
I'm going to start by telling a little story of when, Principal first reached out to talk with me. I didn't know a lot about Principal. It is such a humble organization. And my first reaction was retirement, insurance, asset management, boring. But then I'm sure there's a lot of people listening thinking that, right? But when you think about the incredible impact you can have on making financial security for people, it's an incredible mission. It's an incredible responsibility. And what I will say is, when I first met with people at Principal, the true, honest, deep association they have and the linkage they have to our customers and the heritage of the company and wanting to have this culture that is amazing. And meeting with so many smart people was just such an easy draw for me. I do love my team. And when I joined, I was a little worried that many of them have been here for a long time because it's such a great culture. Will I be welcomed? Will I feel like I'm a part of the team? And they were so welcoming and open, and everybody was so helpful. And I will say, this is a team, again, when you're aligned on the mission and what we're really trying to accomplish, great things happen. And not only as a leadership team, but throughout the whole IT organization globally. And especially because we're global, I spend a lot of time talking with my teams, making sure they understand why we're doing what we're doing, making sure I understand what concerns or questions they might have, and making sure we're all aligned to the work at hand so that we can make sure that we can do great things. And the leadership team's incredible. You talked about Dan. Deanna is going to be incredible too. It starts at the top and it just permeates the company. So we're doing really great technical things. We have, we're in the middle of our journey to the cloud. This is a company who doesn't shy away from trying new things. We buy companies when we need to. We go away from, businesses that aren't doing well as well. And then technologies that we need to innovate with, we're not afraid to try things. We're not afraid to partner with different companies. As an example, with the AI craze and the AI, what started as hype, but is really doing incredible things with generative AI. AWS has been a great partner to the point where Matt Garman called us out in his opening remarks at, reInvent. And it's just because there is this focus and willingness to try things, but also a recognition that we have to preserve those things that are endeared to our customers. And I will say my team does a great job of all of that.
Hard to be a best kept secret when you get a shout out from the stage at reInvent, right? That's pretty incredible. What was the shout out for, Kathy? Out of curiosity,
for doing they've been a great partner with us in generative AI. We had a couple of problems that we wanted to try and leverage in our benefits and protection space. In that space, there is a lot of the people have to go through policies and a lot of documentation and to serve our customers well. And you can imagine at certain times of the year, there are these spikes. And what we're trying to do is avoid having to get temporary help during those spikes because they're not as knowledgeable. We have to ramp them up fast. Sometimes, there might be blips with how our customers are served. And so we wanted to use technology to be able to enable our colleagues to do their best work, but also give them a tool that enables them to do it more effectively and not have to ramp up people. And we were able to do that. And AWS was an incredible partner to help us leverage new technology, one of their models, their RAG models with us, and we got great results.
Way to go. I love that. Well, that's a good tee up for this next mystery question because, again, Kathy K, the builder, you are a builder of excitement in the future, okay? That's another one of your superpowers. And I always find it interesting how great leaders can kind of put people in the cathedral out there in the future. Not a brick is laid yet, maybe. It's nebulous, it's scary, it's like, right? But people are willing to go on that ride with you, right? So this next person knows you pretty well, knows you very well, actually. So going to help us paint a picture of you, the future builder. So listen in.
Hey, Kathy, one of your superpower is to have an eye on the future and how you can make a difference. A lot has been changing in the IT world these days. I want to know, how do you plan to leverage emerging technologies like AI, Gen AI, and cloud to enable business growth at Principal?
Go right to the core, huh, Kathy?
No kidding. And this might be a little self-serving, this question, because this is from Rajesh Arora, our recently new Chief Data and Analytics Officer. And so, of course, I've been working with him closely. I used to work with him in the past, and he's been a great add to our team. But to answer Rajesh's question, we believe at Principal there is a huge opportunity to leverage generative AI and some of the new AI capabilities that are coming out. AI is not new to us. We've been leveraging traditional AI and learning models for quite some time at Principal. But the opportunities when you think about giving our customers better experiences and our employees better tools to help them do their work more effectively, we are eyes focused on that. Deanna, which I love, has really gotten personally involved to make sure we are going after some really great problems to solve in a way that we couldn't in the past because, we were limited with the types of technology available. So again, it's this balancing of making sure we're building things that solve problems now, but with an eye on what we can anticipate the world could be like in the future, that maybe some of our colleagues don't know is possible because of how quickly the landscape is changing. And so, we're doing a little bit of both. We have innovation, we're trying new things, at the same time using it to solve problems at hand right now. And it's going to be that ongoing balancing act.
Yeah, isn't that so often the case in what you do, right? As leaders, and how do you find Goldilocks, right? Get it just right. No surprise that today I just launched a new article on CI.com featuring 7 rock star chief data officers. And thanks to you, Rajesh was one of them, and just a real leader amongst leaders, just a great thought leader, just so impressive. And it always says a lot when people are willing to move with their former boss and colleagues, and big change, right, for him.
It is. And I am honored that he is a part of our team now, and he's already doing great work and spending a lot of time learning the businesses as well. So,
student of the business. I kind of want to mix a couple of these topics. We've talked earlier about the human dimension, and we're talking now about some of these newer technologies, AI and Gen AI and so forth. What's your vision of the human impact, Kathy? Because people a little, there's the opportunity, the excitement. There's also some concern and nervousness. But what do you see this going?
So this is a little bit of my personal philosophy, but I think it's also, I'm glad that it's also part of Principles philosophy as well. When generative AI first came out, ChatGPT, there was all this talk about how companies can just eliminate all these jobs and, we're going to do all these things with so much less people. And, my philosophy is if you really believe people are your biggest asset or one of your biggest assets, finding ways to get rid of them is counterintuitive to me. And so how I think about leveraging these tools, and you're seeing more of it with agentic AI, is how do you give people tools, I say, of giving humans tools to make them superhuman instead of eliminating them. And one of the things we found out, with the problem that I was sharing with you earlier, if we can give our people tools for them to do their jobs more effectively, automate, even sometimes it's just basic automation, some of the things that are just monotonous to them, they solve problems that we never could before. And they're able to lift their head up and understand customers more effectively or problems at hand, and you get even better outcomes. And so for me, like I said, it resonates. It's who we are as a company. And so looking for ways to leverage technology so that people could do better work in the long run, it helps grow the company. It helps serve our customers. Our employees are more engaged and excited. And you do get efficiencies, right? You get a capacity gain, and you don't have to do massive, this mindset of getting rid of a lot of people. I think just making them have tools that really allow them to do better work is where we're focused, and we're seeing great payoffs because of it.
Yeah, and it's still early days, and I think that's the magic when you get people really tuned into the North Star, right? The customer out there, 68 million customers, they care about each other, right? And so if you can help them be 20% more productive, efficient, deliver better value, better experience, people have more fun with their work, right? It's just a whole different experience. So no, that's fantastic. Well, kind of want to shift a little bit, Kathy, to another part of your story. Talked a lot about your leadership and the company and folks that work with you, but you also are, Kathy, the builder in the community, and you're highly respected for that. And you don't look for the fanfare, but I got a couple of people that wanted to shine the light on you and the great work that you do outside. So listen, and you're gonna know who this is right away.
Kathy, from the first time I met you, it was clear that one of your superpowers is your ability to quickly make connections that are authentic. It's also clear that this is a skill that helps you build team, trust, and commitment. So my question is, what part of your story would you say most shaped your ability to connect and collaborate effectively today?
Oh, this is Lance Henning. He leads the Greater Des Moines Habitat for Humanity. He's an incredible person. I am on the board of Habitat for Humanity here in Des Moines. I'm on the executive committee, and have had the privilege of working closely with Lance, and been a part of watching, this community make the ability to have affordable housing to so many people who would not be able to do so without the likes of for Humanity. So he's an incredible person and a great leader as well. And I've learned so much from Lance. But to answer Lance's question, I would say, it goes back to very early on. I benefited a lot from the community, from people in the community I grew up. I grew up in the city of Detroit. And there are so many things help that I got that I would never be here where I am without the help that I got when I was a student in the city of Detroit. And so I have always felt that it's a responsibility to give back because of what I was able to get, the help from people that, when I needed it the most, to keep me on a good path, and give me the confidence that I needed to do some of the things that I really wanted to do. And so I think it's a responsibility that everybody should have. There are so many people who have so many struggles that you never know about. And just helping a little could change a life in a second. And so I think, and it's one of the things that I love about Principal. Principal, we are encouraged and to make time to do community service and to get involved. And so, being a part of Greater Des Moines Habitat for Humanity is something that's really important to me. Being a part of the community, watching families benefit, because it changes their whole trajectory. And I again, part of, I think, being a good person, being a good leader is this responsibility to give back. And that goes with having to collaborate and work closely. Same thing, understand the problems that they're facing and help solve problems in a way that allows them to have access to something that maybe they don't have access to. But with the experiences I have, excuse me, could help benefit, provide something that they couldn't get that I can help with. And it's super gratifying. And it also brings me energy.
Yeah, there you go. Right back to the energy. And I know that Lance really appreciates having you on that board. And something tells me too, you might throw the work genes on once in a while too. And
I do.
Not
I
surprised.
do. I will say I learn a lot when we are out building homes. And I know I need to stick to my day job when I'm out doing that. But I really appreciate the team's patience with me.
Yeah, well done. Thank you, Lance. And thank you for that great work. And great reference back to Detroit too. Wayne State University, right? If I remember right?
Yes, that was my undergrad. Yes. And I had a full ride scholarship, again, from some people I went to Osborne High School, and having a belief in me, applying for scholarships. I would not have gone to college otherwise. My parents wouldn't have been able to afford it. So I benefited a lot.
We have, do you know Andy Karabutis?
I do know Andy. She was also at Wayne State.
Yeah, I just put that together. I was preparing, and you both have that Detroit grit, right?
Yeah.
Like just work through hard stuff. And
that's right.
So Andy's going to be coming up here soon. Well, a couple more mystery questioners. Another one that kind of gets to your building of community, but in a different way. So check this one out, Kathy. Tell us who this is, and this is going to be a lot of fun too.
Kathy, one of your many superpowers as a global technology leader is how genuinely accessible and available you make yourself, not only to your employees and colleagues, but also to Iowa's broader technology community. What drives you to take such an active role in supporting and advocating for technology and innovation? And how has that shaped your work and leadership approach?
This is Brian Waller. He leads the Technology Association of Iowa. He too is an incredible leader. And I had the honor of chairing the board last year of the Technology Association of Iowa. And to get to Brian's questions, he always does say, I am accessible. Again, I think a good leader makes himself accessible to whoever so that you can understand what problems might be at hand and how you might be able to help. But I guess it gets back to a little bit of what I said in my last question, giving back to the community. In the IT space, there was a time I remember where, you're made to think, don't share secrets, don't help, but when you think about all the things that have transpired over the years, and especially as cybersecurity has become so important to every company, you can't help but have a network and share and feel a responsibility of giving back. And specifically to what I do in Des Moines, I always say that I think Des Moines and Iowa punch above their weight. I think there's incredible technology that is here. I think there's incredible technologists that are here. I think there's great companies and great opportunities. And I think part of my responsibility is making that known because you never know. There's people like me who didn't know a lot about Iowa. And I'm really glad I'm here. And so being able to share all the cool things that go on here and help make it happen and be a part of the technology community. Again, I think it's a responsibility, but it's very gratifying. And I always love when I could be a part of some of the TAI things that we do.
Yeah, well, great work to Brian and the team, and the economic impact there is staggering of tech, right? And it's becoming a real tech hub. And but you all do it, and you're kind of like your quiet Midwest way. You've got a sister company there in John Deere, who they were like the darling of the Consumer Electronics Show a couple years ago, right?
Right.
No one knew all this was going on. So same thing with Principal, but yeah, I love what's going on there. Well, good timing for us to kind of pivot to the community in terms of how you and I both love to give back to our profession and the things that we do. So, we do this scholarship, right? The Tech for Good scholarship, Kathy.
Yes.
And this kind of crept up on us, but we've now committed over $350,000 in scholarships
Wow.
to STEM nonprofits. And I just thank my team so much for being able to make this happen. But on the show, you get a chance to call out one of your favorite STEM nonprofits, and they're going to get a chance to benefit from this scholarship. So, do you have anybody in mind, Kathy?
Yes, actually, I do. This is so exciting. I would love to talk about and nominate PI 515. And this is led by an incredible leader, Nancy Moravsky. This organization really tries to help maybe underserved teens get excited about STEM, computer science, financial literacy. And one of the things that I'm super proud of is what my team does with PI 515, and that is every Tuesday, we have a group of students who come to Principal and learn how to code. And this is, I forget how many weeks now, but it goes pretty much the whole school year. And the program has evolved that they're actually getting college credit now from one of our local community colleges. And every time I go, I always make sure that I get to spend some time with the students. The questions they have, and there's so many that remind me of me not having the confidence, thinking I might not be smart enough for this, or how could I ever do this? And then giving them that space to learn and realize that, putting in some work, you can do amazing things, and getting the tools, and then getting the support of the community and leaders. Even Dan goes down and meets with them. I'm sure Deanna will too in the future. But can you imagine they're meeting with a CEO of a Fortune 250, right? But it's just who we are. And every one of these students goes on out of high school to to do further education. And it's just an incredible program that she does. And it's incredible to see what the students do as well.
Amazing. I so enjoyed learning about them. I've had a chance to study them and just their impact. And gosh, you'd love to see that program in every city, right? Just the impact. And physically, as a company, you've given them space on campus, which is really, really amazing. So, wow, that is a great scholarship recipient. We'll work with them and get them to
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Well, I've got one more mystery question for you. I think you'll recognize the voice. This is talking about Kathy as the builder of future generations.
Oh no.
That's the theme of this one. So let's see if you recognize this voice.
Okay.
Tell us about your first strong leader or mentor that you can remember. What were some of their qualities that you still try to emulate today?
Oh my gosh, this is my daughter, Mackenzie Keogh.
Well, I figured when we had Jen Hartsock, I actually got Jen's mom as one of the mystery questioners. So thank you, Mackenzie. But you've been a big part of building her as part of the future generation. So
yeah, Mackenzie, I have dragged her around to so many things as she was growing up. But yes, I do provide guidance with her and actually a lot of her friends whenever I can. Again, it's something I love to do. And it's something I've benefited in the past. What I would say is probably one of the leaders that had such a big impact on me early was when I was at General Motors. Her name is Marianne Goebel. Still keep in touch with her. At the time, I think she was the CIO of Europe and then became the CIO of North America. And she was the first female senior IT leader that I ever got to know close up. And she's just incredible. And she has so many of the I guess, leadership characteristics that I aspire to have. She was so approachable, accessible, really took, great care in understanding who you are as a person, provided guidance. And she actually, really suggested roles for me that I never would have thought I was capable of or would be good at. And just having her nudge me a little bit with support was probably one of the earliest super impactful leaders. I keep in touch with her to this day. And she has just been incredible help throughout my career.
Well, thank you, Mary. And that's just, I gotta imagine automotive industry in those days. You didn't have a lot of women executives, role
There
models,
were not,
right?
yes.
So amazing. Well, so good. I know you do this a lot for people too. I would love to get a whole room full of people lined up to talk about how you've done that for them, Kathy. But we don't have time to do that today. But I do have one more mystery question. And so it's not really a question, it's more of a statement. So let's see if you recognize this voice.
I'm so proud of you, Gigi. You're best friend, Gigi.
Oh my gosh, this is Jackson Keogh. This is Mackenzie's son, my grandson. Jackson, he is, I'm almost going to cry. He's almost 3. He'll be 3 at the end of March. And Mackenzie and my son-in-law, Nick, and their 2 children, Jackson and Luca, have been living with us for a few months while they are building a home in Michigan. And so I have loved every minute of it. And that is so cute that Jackson said something. So yes, I look forward to going home every night and seeing the babies. It's wonderful. And they'll be moving out next month. And I know I'm going to be crying, but it's been an incredible time having them with us.
So good. Well, thank you, Mackenzie. I remember seeing a picture of you holding Jackson on LinkedIn, coming back from a trip. I'm like, I have got to figure out how to get that young man just to say something. And so he calls you Gigi.
He calls me so I have 5 grandkids. They all call me Gigi. Mackenzie named me Gigi. So yes, I go by Gigi.
And he calls you, you've got a brand, a name for him. He calls you his best friend.
He does.
That is so amazing.
I'll tell you, the first time that happened, when he said my best friend Gigi, I was like, this boy can have anything he wants in the world. You name it, and your best friend Gigi will get it for you. But yeah.
I get it. Well, no offense to Mackenzie or my daughter, but the expression goes like this. If I knew being a grandparent was so great, I would have done it first.
That's so true.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for having fun with that. And just this conversation has been so special, Kathy. I appreciate you taking time. You just got in from the NASDAQ, last night and just running around and busy year ahead. But this is a really great bunch of thought leadership you just shared. And so thank you for, investing in our profession and all that you do. And look forward to our paths crossing again many times.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Danny. As I said earlier, I'm really honored to be a part of this, and thanks for having me as well. It's been really fun.
Awesome. Well, again, just to kind of put a bow on it, that's Kathy Kay, the builder of businesses, of bridges, of teams, of trust, innovation, future generations, your community, and just so special. And next week, be on the lookout for CIO.com. We're going to have spent some more time together. And Kathy and I are going to publish an article on really under the mantra of don't judge a book by its cover. So I'm going to kind of leave it there, leave a little curiosity. So until next time, everybody, thanks so much. Be well, and we'll see you soon.
You've been listening to Tech Whisperers, inside the playbook of the best digital leaders, a Woolette and Associates podcast. Keep connected with us by subscribing to the show in your favorite podcast player. If you like what you've heard, please rate the show, as this helps us connect the world's best digital leaders with those who aspire to learn, grow, and thrive in this amazing profession. Thanks for listening. Until next time.